I'm Theo Varn. I document the measurable protocols for entering high-performance brain states, and in this video, I'll show you exactly how to do it. I tracked my HRV for over 500 breathing meditation sessions with an HRV device. And what I found completely changed how focus actually works. Because most people think their problem is discipline. It's not. It's their nervous system. I measured this using HRV, before, during, and after deep work. The data showed something almost no productivity advice talks about. Your cognitive output is determined before you even start working. I'm going to show you exactly what I found, what it means physiologically, and the protocol I now use every single session. Here's what most people experience. You sit down to work, you have time blocked, the conditions are right, and 20 minutes in, you're distracted, switching tasks, or staring at the screen producing nothing of real value. Then the rest of the day becomes low quality. You feel slightly off. You reach for coffee, you check your phone more than you should, and by the end of the day, you haven't actually done anything that required real thinking. Most people interpret this as a discipline problem. It's not. I tracked my own sessions for over 500 entries, and the pattern was very clear. The days I produced the least were not the days I wanted to work less. They were the days my HRV was already low before I even started. HRV, heart rate variability, is the millisecond variation between your heartbeats. And it's one of the most reliable signals of your nervous system state. High HRV generally means your system is regulated. Low HRV means your system is under stress. And that means your brain is literally not in a state where deep work is efficient. Here's what's actually happening. Your nervous system has two primary modes. Sympathetic, which is stress, urgency, threat detection. Parasympathetic, which is calm, regulation, and deep processing. High-level cognitive work, real thinking, writing, problem-solving, depends on your prefrontal cortex. And your prefrontal cortex only works well when your nervous system is regulated. When your stress response is elevated, because of sleep, environment, or just cumulative load, your brain shifts away from deep thinking and toward fast, reactive behavior. You're not broken. Your brain is doing exactly what it's designed to do. It just doesn't distinguish between a deadline and a threat. So when you sit down to work in that state, your brain keeps pulling toward distraction. Not because you lack discipline, because your system is scanning. Now here's what changed when I started measuring and intervening before I worked. On sessions where I ran a short regulation protocol first, my HRV was higher at the start. My focus stabilized faster, and I could sustain deep work significantly longer. The difference wasn't subtle, it was consistent. Here's the exact protocol I now run before every deep work session. 3 steps, total time under 12 minutes. Step 1, HRV check, 2 minutes. I take a resting HRV reading. This is not optional. If I skip this, I'm guessing. Your subjective feeling is unreliable. Your physiology isn't. This tells me whether I'm ready to work or whether I need to regulate first. Step 2, coherent breathing, 5 minutes. This is the most consistent intervention I found. I use an HRV device. You breathe at about 5 to 6 breaths per minute, roughly 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. This synchronizes your heart rhythm with your breathing cycle. It's called resonance frequency breathing or coherent breathing, and it directly increases HRV. This is a form of meditation, but actually more highly effective than meditation. You're calibrating your nervous system when you are coherent breathing. 5 to 10 minutes is enough to shift your state. Step 3, task priming, 3 to 5 minutes. Before opening anything, I write one sentence. What is the single output this session produces? Not a list. Not goals. One clear outcome. Then I remove everything else. No tabs, no distractions. This eliminates decision friction when the session starts. Your brain is already in the right state. Now it has a clear target. Then I begin the session, and I do not check anything else for at least 45 minutes. What changed after doing this consistently? My deep work blocks got longer. My starting HRV improved. and the mental fatigue I used to feel later in the day dropped significantly. This is where the difference becomes obvious. You stop losing the first 20 minutes of every session to noise. You stop hitting a wall in the afternoon. And you stop relying on motivation to get started. Because you're not forcing performance anymore. You're entering a state where performance is the default. Most people try to manage their time. What actually determines your output is your physiological state inside that time. If you want the full protocol, the exact breathing cadence, the tools I use, and the tracking system I built, it's all in the description. Once you raise your HRV, everything else becomes easier. Follow me for more informative videos on neuroscience, productivity, cognitive performance, consciousness, and human performance optimization.